How's it going, everyone? Thank you for stopping by in today's video. In today's upload, I will be bringing a tutorial on how to do a rotating 3D text effect in Davinci Resolve, also with a zoom in effect included. I want to shout out to this comment right here on the first upload. Inspired me to make this upload. Can you make a video on how to add a spinning 3D text like it's a part of the image? Shout out to you. I can't pronounce your name too much. But I do appreciate the comment. So in today's video, we'll be covering that with a little bit of extra. Anything in today's video you can add to any still image in Davinci Resolve. So let's get right into it. So I have Davinci Resolve already open. I already made this effect. I already did the effect prior to recording this video. Just to show an example. So what we got here on screen is a 3D text effects coming in. So we can just play that through really quickly. Now, once again, the comment only asked for a rotating 3D text effect in the images, in a image. I do want to stress, anything you do in this video, you see in this video, you can just put an image right here in the background. It doesn't have to be a video. So you just replace that with any image you have and you get the same context. It's your effect is really the 3D. And make it look like it's a part of the image. That comes with color grading. I will briefly touch on, right? So that's exactly what we're shooting for in this video is this. Right? And we're going to actually create it on this second half of the clip, zooming out, going through and then rotating as well. So pretty much everything I'm doing in this second part is how I did the first one, and we're just going to be referencing this. The first thing you want to do is find the image, find all that, do your base work, obviously, right? Figure out what it is you want to put a 3D text on. Once you import that into Davinci Resolve, you have all your files, you have your base ready. This is where you could start. You then bring in your clip, for instance, I have it right here, into the timeline. Once you have your clip in the timeline, we're going to ignore this adjustment layer. That's just my vignette. So once you have your image / clip in your timeline, you're going to want to right click it, and then you're going to want to make it a new fusion clip. Once you hit new fusion clip, you'll notice the title of the clip switch to a fusion clip, therefore letting you know that it is a now fusion clip. Once you have that fusion clip selected, right click it again and you want to open it up in your fusion page. Yes, majority of this tutorial on how to do this is in the fusion page. First thing you're going to want to go ahead and do is, if you notice, is merge. We got to merge this in. We're going to want to add in a merge layer, which is right here, this little icon. See, it says merge. We're going to click that. That now adds in a merge. From here, you're going to want to select off, right? Because here we're just going to do like a chain of events of what we need. You're going to come to the right side of the screen or wherever this is placed at in your software, depending on your layout. You're going to want to add in a text 3D effect node, right? Once you have that added, you're going to go right beside it and then you're going to add the merge 3D node. Once you have the merge 3D node, you're going to also add in a renderer 3D as well. Okay. Now that you have these three nodes here, right, you'll notice it had already linked them for you in the sequence you selected them. Fusion does that, okay? Really neat tool. In the blank space, click in your blank space in your Fusion page. You're going to hit Shift Spacebar. That's going to bring up your search tool in the Fusion page. It took me so long, by the way, guys, to figure that out. When I figured that out, it just made it a lot easier because this is pretty much everything you can add into Fusion compared to this right here that you have like a select set of items. So you're going to type in directional light, and then you'll see this option pop up. You're going to hit add. So once you have the directional light node added, you're then going to take and link it to your merge 3D. That is to merge the light into your text effect. Now I will say this, I don't know if anyone else has this experience. Davinci gets kind of glitchy with me sometimes, right? Once you have the directional light into the 3D, you're going to want to take your renderer and then you want to add it to your merge node. Now everything is in sequence going into your media out, but wait a second, you don't see nothing. Wait a second, you haven't added a text. Exactly. So the next step would be go to your text node, and underneath your box you can type in whatever you want. So for this example, I'm going to just put zoom out, simply because I am zooming out with this effect. Now I know the comment was just a rotational 3D text effect in an image. Everything you can do to this, you can do to that image. Once you have your text selected, you can, switch all your nice fonts and everything on the side and whatnot. While you're still in that text node, go underneath extrusion. Underneath extrusion depth, you can bump this up, and if you notice on your actual output, that bumps up. You could see something like as if it's getting more bolder, right? You're not really getting the 3D text effect. Directional light, exactly. That's what that was for. So you can go ahead and bump it to desired. I'm just gonna pump it up on 2 just for the tutorial purposes. I kind of like it, I'm not gonna lie. Once you have your text typed and your extrusion depth up, so now it's extruded, you can't notice it, but it's there. You then want to select the renderer node. Under the renderer node tab, you're going to want to enable the lighting and the shadows. Now what you can see here is as soon as we enabled the lighting and the shadows, boom, there's your 3D text effect. That's how you have a 3D text now in your image / footage that you're wanting to apply, whether it's a gaming montage or a vlog and you're walking down the street, or you're generally just trying to put it on a still image. Shout out Dose of Wisdom on TikTok, check them out, link in the description. Next thing you want to do is add in the rotation, just like the comment asked. So then what you're going to want to do is select your text 3D node. You're going to want to come to the first transform option here. Once you're underneath this first transform option, you will see this rotation tab. And underneath the rotation tab, you'll see the Y axis. When you click and drag or affect this number right here, you will see the letters are moving, okay? Boom. Now you can kind of already guess what's the next move going to be. Some keyframes, right? But wait a second. What if you didn't want it rotating with the individual letters? You wanted it to rotate like the whole word. Axes, right? That's the point of these axes. So then you can take the X axis right here and you'll see it moving on an X axis together in sequence. Then you're going to want to come over to the second transform tab, and underneath the rotation here, underneath the Y, you're going to put the same concept. It will move all of it in conjunction, not individualized letters. So depending on the effect you're wanting, you can either do the individual letters with this one right here, or you can do the whole word or statement, whatever it is right there. Up to you to decide. For this example, I'm gonna do individual letters, okay? I'm gonna want to make sure I'm at the start of my clip, right? Because I want this to kind of zoom out pretty quickly / slowly, right? So I'm gonna just go to the start of this clip, actually right here. I'm gonna go back into the Fusion page. I'm then gonna come once again underneath the text 3D, the transform tab, the rotation, because I want to do individual letters. I'm gonna hit a keyframe here at 0, right? And then as it slowly comes out, let's just go to 60 frames, okay? I'm gonna want this to rotate a full rotation cycle. So then right here, you're gonna wanna do 360. Wait a second, nothing happened. Exactly, you did a full cycle. Let's bump this down to 180. You would then see it's backwards, right? That's letting you know the rotation of the Y axis. So we're gonna put this back to 360. And then if we scroll through our playhead here, we will see now the individual letters are moving. If you do want to do the full statement or full word instead of individual letters, you can do the same thing. Come over to the second transform tab underneath Y, hit your keyframe at 0, go to about your 60 frame mark, and then you can do the same thing for 360. Boom. And then if we look at it, I'm not quite sure how this is going to look. It looks kind of different, isn't it? Everything's rotating, right? So boom, you see, that's the concept we can actually shoot for, right? So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these 2 keyframes underneath that second Y axis. So now we have the text rotating, blah, 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 right? What I'm trying to do for this effect, I actually want this text, I want this behind the camera angle or the camera view because it's zooming out. Now you can see you have a 3D text effect. Now you have a rotating text now in your image / footage. How do I make that look like it's a part of the image? Well, that comes with like some color grading, but something I like to do to help this sit into your image or the footage you are using. If you come over to the directional light node, underneath the controls, the intensity of this light, you can then lower that, and if you notice on screen, that text slowly becomes blacked out. Also, if you want to switch the color of the text, you can switch it by switching this light that shines on it, as you can see, and or you can come here and pick whatever color you want that text to be. I'm gonna actually put this back to my off-white, and I will lower this intensity to help make it look like it's a part of this film. For the most part, you can get away with this with a little bit of color grade on top, like it's a color correction, right? So now you have it looking like it's a part of the film, and now it's rotating, and now the background image slash film is zooming out. If you follow this how to animate still images tutorial, you'll know you can do the same thing to any still image, making it moving even if it's not shot in that way. It's just a still image. So now you have your 3D text in your scene. Now it's rotating, and now it's looking like it's a part of the scene depending on the scene you are building. Correct. So the next thing I do want to add is just the zoom out effect. So at this point, we've already made the text effect, we already did the rotation, and we just made it look like it's a part of the scene we're building. Now I just want to add in a zoom out effect. So I'm going to go to my second transform tab on the 3D text, which is the second to last, that is, right? If you notice this icon that shows you it's a 3D edit, underneath this three-dimensional object edit, if you click underneath the translation and move these accesses, you will see, and you can kind of see the motion blur and effect when I go really fast, which is pretty cool already, right? But you will see it's moving the axis, right? The whole boop, boop, boop. I'm going to take the Z axis and I'm going to make it go out, right? I want to look at the footage I have, by the way, because this footage is going to slowly zoom out, and then it's gonna boop. You know what I mean? It's gonna, that's done. Zoom out, boom, to like what, 60? We could do the 120, right? So we're gonna so from here I am going back to this where I edited, where I wanted to put the position at 2.3. I'm gonna select that keyframe. I'm then just gonna drag this back down to where I would want it on the scene, so to speak, right? Just slowly, right? Because from here I'm gonna add like a rush zoom out. So let's see how this looks. All right, sorry about that, guys. I had a little brain fart. I messed up on the last part with this one, so I had to quickly redo what I just did to fix what I incorrectly did. So, which was just underneath the zoom aspect right there at the end. I'll show you guys, right? Before I even show you guys, I want to show you what I did wrong in the last one. Underneath the text 3D, I was attempting to add an extra pop zoom. In this one, it was just about the keyframes underneath the Z axis, underneath the second transform tab. I was trying to add in that other clip, didn't work out. Just messed it up, so I redid it, and that's where we're at now. So with that being said, I also added in right here really closely, if you guys can see at the back, a fade out, just a natural fade out. If you don't know how to do that, all you're going to do is come here until you see this little icon at the edge and or the beginning of your clips. I'm just going to click, hold, and drag to the desired outcome, right? The longer it fades out. I'm going to just kind of put it like right here for example purposes. And now we can kind of see what we got working with. So let's look at it completely all the way through with the first part that I did off screen when learning the effect myself. So that was a little glitchy at the end. There we go. It had a little whoop right at the end. So there you go, guys. That's how you create a rotating 3D text effect in Davinci Resolve with also a zoom in slash zoom out. Now, if you guys want like a masking tutorial, for instance, if you love to see this this car as it passes by right here, take out the zoom out. Maybe I can set that down and you see the car is just booming, it's gone. I can bring that as well. Just leave the comment down below and I'll probably just reference this file to do so, because I think it's a really good format to do so. So if you have any other questions, just let me know in the comment section below. Hopefully the quality of the recording on this video is a lot better. As I continue to create, I will learn better ways of editing, etc., etc. And shout out to this comment once again. It inspired me to do this video. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be.